But keeping it rocking. Next free agent that we are going to talk about, and y'all already know what time it is. You know where we're going. Some of you already done detailed, right? You've already detailed it. When we talk about cause for pause areas, right? You know pretty much if you on that TRS chat and all that, you know where I'm going, all right? I don't care what anybody says. That secondary scares me, bro. That secondary scares me. And like I said, you can put the dirty clothes in the closet all you want. At some point, somebody gonna open that door and see them crusty drawers that you got right there. You feel what I'm saying? At some point, whenever it may be, you feel what I'm saying? You gonna get exposed. So my thing is this. Let's try to avoid that, right? And what best way to avoid that than to just get a veteran to try to teach some of these young guys. It's not like we don't have talent in the room, but some of it is green, some of it's raw. So let's get a veteran. And what's a better veteran than Stephon Gilmore, right? What's a better veteran than Stephon Gilmore to come in and teach, right? To come in and teach, come in and probably give some of these guys a little year to see technique, see how it's done, right? And then we'll see what we got from there. You feel what I'm saying? I give you my number one reason. I've continuously said this, though. I've said this even during, off season, even like really when the season ended last year. We're hella young at corner. Like hella young at corner. There's not a lot of veteran depth at that position. You know what I mean? You look at the room, you got Jack Jones. He's pretty young, ain't been in the league that long, right? Then you got Jacorian Bennett, second year. You got the Camryn Richardson, first year, right? Then you got Devonshire, first year. Then you talk about Brandon Faison. And Brandon Faison is the Grizzly veteran in there, right? But at the end of the day, there's not a lot of veteran pieces to lean on if things were to go awry, right? At the end of the day, that's where I'm at. Second reason, okay? Right now, I see a lot of conflicting reports, right? And a lot of conflicting opinions when it comes to this cornerback position. First, I see a lot of people, let's say reporters, Brandon Faison. They love Brandon Faison. They want Brandon Faison to take that physicality role and be that guy on the other side of Jack Jones and all that. And then you hear, Jacorian Bennett's making these plays. Jacorian Bennett is doing this at camp. Come on, bro. Let's not fall for that okie doke. All right, let's not fall for that okie doke. Now, Jacorian Bennett, sure, he might be able to do something. He might be able to ascend and, become the player that we need him to become. He might be able to do that. But if we're going to start talking about, he's getting beat out by Brandon Faison, right? Like he's getting beat out by Brandon Faison. And he does, and Faison is the starter. Oh, yeah, bro. We're Swiss cheese. We're Swiss cheese. I mean, you can say, you can point to whatever factor you want to point to. Oh, the D-line will do this. But for how long, bro? Realistically, right? Be honest with yourselves. It is a 17-game season, right? The D-line can do so much. You feel what I'm saying? Unless you have the 1985 Bears D-line. If that's what we're going to have this year, then sure. But this D-line, as of right now, is not a top 5 D-line. They're not a top 5 D-line. We might be a top 10 right now. But that's because of 2 dudes right now. For real. I'm not even going to cap. That's because of 2 dudes. So we're hoping Tyree can do something, right? We hoping Tyree becomes into what he becomes. We're hoping that Malcolm Kuntz continues his dominance in that last 8 games. Well, we don't know, right? So now you see what I'm saying? Like, we can't just rely on the defensive line every game, bro. And yes, we like Jack Jones, and I think Jack Jones can be good. He showed certain instincts to me. But then it's like, bro, it's not that hard to scheme if you're an offense to say, well, that cornerback over there is pretty trash. Like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, we'll scheme that up to go to this side pretty much. You know what I mean? Can your linebackers cover hella good? Not really. You know what I mean? And that's the next portion too, but we'll get to that at a later date. But at the end of the day, your linebackers aren't Fred Warner and all that. So it's like there are ways to expose this defense. But if we're going to stay on the cornerback position, right, this gives you some flexibility, right? This does not just allow, if you sign a guy like Gilmore, this does not just allow an offense to say, well, okay, they got one good corner over here, but this dude over here is pretty trash. So it's like he's dog water. I can kind of come over here when I want to. You know what I mean? Manipulate it when I want to. That doesn't give you that option no more. Right now, you got to think twice on both sides. And you already know what time it is. Now, everybody that wants to chime in with that defensive line argument, if you got to think twice on both sides, that allows now this D-line to do what they do. Right? To do what they do. So realistically, all right, when we talking about this Raiders defense, let's really put it in a vacuum, put it in a prism, right? Look at the personnel. Look at what we do. Okay. This defense and Patrick Graham really protects and has been up to this point, because we ain't really had the dudes protecting this secondary, because it is the weakest part of this defense. He is protecting the secondary. The formula that we're going to do, because we are going to be one of the best run defenses in the league, for sure, right? You got one of the best run defending D tackles in the league this offseason, and you got one of, if not the best, run defending edge in the league. We're going to be nice at defending the run. I can see that off rip, right? We're going to be physical. But where it gets you is where we start talking about the pass. And it's not really the pass rush. It's more of the fact, like, if this defense is not causing just 2 seconds of pass time, bro, it's going to get ugly. You know what I mean? The formula is keep teams 3rd and long so we can pin our ears back and do some damage, right? You're not going to be able to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. We'll stop that. Boom, it's 3rd and long. We'll get off the field. Where we're going to, as it sits right here, where we're going to get in trouble as a team is if it starts to get 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, and there's, you know what I mean, there's options. Now you have options. That's what's going to start killing this defense. For real. Because now them deficiencies will start getting exposed. You feel what I'm saying? They definitely going to start getting exposed. So my thing with Gilmore, right, it's like I would just like another guy as of right now, because this is just my feelings right now. Once again, one of these dudes in camp can show up and show out. And if he does, well, hey, we saved that bread. It is what it is, right? I've continuously said I don't care about being wrong as long as the right thing occurs, which is us winning. I don't give a damn at that point. But at the end of the day, if we just talking right now and I'm part of the Raiders brass, this is something I'm bringing up for sure. Now, let's go ahead, and you already know what time it is. We're going to detail his stats from last year. Now, I've said this before, right? He didn't end the season particularly well in my eyes. And we talking about Stephon Gilmore. Did not end the season particularly well. I mean, I saw that playoff game against Green Bay. That ass was grass. Guaranteed, right? When we were talking about whatever Green Bay did that game, he did not look good, right? And I will be the first to admit that. But we'll still look at this. We'll still look at these stats. Now, was with Dallas last year, all right? Played in all 17 games, okay? So a veteran guy, but still played in all 17 games, which is very good to see and is a good trend, right? Because he's kind of been nicked over the years. You know what I mean? You see the trend of him being in the league. You see 11 games, 14 games played, 12 games. So it's like, you know, you see the injury, right? You see the injury factor. But of the last 2 seasons, right? Of the last 2 seasons, the one with him in Indianapolis in 22 and in Dallas, he played 16 games in 22 and 17 games in 23. So, okay, cool. Durability factor. That's one, right? So you go there. We talking about total tackles, has 68 total tackles, 54 solo tackles with 14 assisted. So getting in there, all right, trying to tackle, trying to make something happen. But really, where the rubber meets the road and really where we're going to need something, I'm looking at the interception total, right? Now, obviously, the outlier defensive player of the year performance with 6 interceptions in 2019, that hasn't happened and occurred since. But when you round it out, he averages about 3 to 2 interceptions per year, right? 3 to 2 interceptions per year, which is cool. He had 2 last year, all right? Not as sticky as he was, right? Definitely lost a little step. No, I'm not going to sit here and say we're getting, you know, New England Stephon Gilmore. We're not getting that. We're not getting that. You get him with the understanding that, you know what I mean, he's a veteran. But I think this is the veteran signing that we were thinking that Marcus Peters should have been. You know what I'm saying? That's where I would be right here. This would be the veteran signing that we thought Marcus Peters was going to be. Eventually did not turn out to be. But, you know, what we thought that he would be, which is a nice veteran presence that's going to turn the ball over for us. And at the end of the day, right, give us some flexibility at the position. So, second free agent, Stephon Gilmore, man. Y'all already know what it is. Go ahead. Let me know how y'all feel down below on that, man.